and welcome to another exciting edition of Street Combat Systems. Today I'm going to go in a little different direction, and I'm going to talk about bullying. And the reason why I want to bring that up is it's something that I went through as a kid for a long time, from about kindergarten through 10th or 11th grade. And you're saying, you got bullied? You're a crazy son of a bitch. You got bullied. You're a bad son of a bitch. You got bullied. Yeah, I wasn't always 6'1" and 212 pounds like I am now. You know, as a child, I was super tiny. I mean, when I entered high school, and it was all boys private high school, I was 4'10" and 80 friggin' pounds. I was tiny, and there's dudes in my school, you know, juniors and seniors, and you're talking 1976 through 1980, that were, you know, over 6 feet tall. And back then, you know, in the 70s, they had beards and long hair and looked like they were 40 friggin' years old. So it was high school was extremely intimidating for me for the first 3 years. And you saw my son Brandon's video. He went through bullying. High school was a real shitty experience for him, but he dealt with it. He didn't act like a bitch and run to mommy and daddy and have them call the school. And hitting on that right now, that is the worst thing a kid can do, or whether you're being bullied in the workplace or school or college, the worst thing you can do is go tell on that person, and then the school officials talk to that person, or your boss talks to that person. It's just going to make it worse. They're just going to come back to you, and they're going to be pissed off, and the bullying is going to get intensified. The only person that can stop the bullying is you yourself. You have to take action. You have to stand up for yourself, as hard as it may be, and just say, you know what, I'm tired of this shit. You know, you might have to hit somebody upside the head, or freak out on them, whatever you got to do to stop it. I mean, I'll give you an example. When I was in about 7th or 8th grade, I was hanging out with a kid up the street, and he was bigger and stronger than me, and we were horsing around, and it got serious, and he did something, you know, he was trying to pickle me because I was smaller, and I got pissed off, and, you know, my first reaction was to punch him in the stomach. And I had no kind of training, didn't start martial arts yet or anything like that, and he had one of those big metal belt buckles, like that say Texas on it, with the raised metal letters, and I hit it and cut my hand, and I just freaking snapped. I was like, this is it, I'm done dealing with this bullshit. And I got him, I don't know, I can't remember how I did it, but I got him on the ground, held him by the throat, and just kept hitting him in the same eye over and over again until that thing swelled shut. And that taught me something. That taught me that I, as a person, can take care of the bullying situation, and I have that, and everybody does. Everybody has that inner demon inside of them. And once you summon that inner demon up and take care of that situation, that person is not going to mess with you anymore. And it's going to get around, especially if you're in school, because that's where bullying occurs the most. It occurs in school in person, it occurs on social media, and like I said, it also occurs in the workplace. It doesn't matter, you know, where you are, how old you are. You can be 5 years old, you can be 50 years old, you can still get bullied. And like I said, the only person that can stop it is you. And one of the things that we taught all 5 of our kids, me and my girlfriend, when they were living here with us, we would tell them, you know, if somebody picks on you or is fucking with you, you do whatever you have to do to handle the situation. Don't come running to us. You handle it then and there. And that's what they did. You know, Brandon, he handled the situation as best he could, and wrote out, you know, high school, because I mean, he didn't grow or really hit puberty until after high school, and he started lifting weights with me when he was 12 years old. And that's another thing. You know, you can, other than handling the situation verbally, you can change the situation through playing sports, through exercise, through lifting weights, through working out. Do positive things in your life to bring out that positivity in your mind. And a lot of people, you know, well, I can't do that, I'm not gonna. Yes, you can. I did it, and I was bullied from fucking kindergarten, probably up through 10th grade. when we played kickball on the playground, like in middle school and grade school, I was always last to be picked because I was so freaking small. And that wears on you after a while. And, you know, like I said, if you don't deal with that situation, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse. And that's one of the reasons why I started teaching martial arts through YouTube. That, in fact, that I got kicked out of the last school I was teaching at because I was imparting too many injuries on the other adult students. But anyway, you know, I teach through YouTube as a way to teach other people how to defend themselves, whether it's in a street situation, you know, the school cafeteria, or in the Walmart parking lot, you know, and that's something that's going to help you as far as being bullied. Like, and going back to us telling the kids not to do it, like you've seen Michael a couple of times when he was in elementary school in the cafeteria, he got stabbed in the neck with a spork, and he turned around and smacked that kid and threw him on the ground, and guess what? From that time on until he graduated, nobody screwed with him anymore because they thought he was nuts. And he took care of the situation, and the school called his mother, and she said, did the other kid start it? And they said yes, and she was like, well, why are you calling me? And she's a super conservative person. You know what? The other kid was at fault. Michael handled the situation. Conversation over. That's what the fuck you're supposed to do. Handle the situation, because if you don't handle it now, tomorrow it's going to be worse, and the day after it's going to be worse. You know, and I learned that time when I was, you know, in 7th or 8th grade, when, you know, I squared that kid away. You know what? He never messed with me again. We stayed friends, and you know, until I moved out of that area later in life. But like I said, you need to control the situation. You know, any situation. I never ran to my parents. I didn't want to tell them. My dad was, you know, the way he was raised. He came from a foreign country. I mean, in his world, second place is the first loser. So you better do whatever you have to do to be number one, and that goes along with bullying. I know it's hard. You wake up, you feel depressed, you're faking you're sick so you don't have to go to school, and you got to deal with it. You got to confront it. Once you confront it and you end that situation, that bad situation, you're going to feel 1,000% better about it, and it'll never happen again. My kid's mother, when we were married, when I first started going out with her, as you know her as Mama Jen, she was scared of her own shadow. And I taught her how to not take shit from other people, and she never took shit again. In fact, she's probably crazier and more aggressive in a public situation where somebody's taking shit than I am. And she's 5'2". So that's another thing. And you watch these videos, learn the techniques, and you know, I'm like I said, I'm not I'm not trying to be arrogant, but what I do will help you get through a bad situation in life. You know, when it comes to bullying, whether it's school or work, or you know, if you're a college student or playing on a sports team and you're taking shit from other kids, it's gonna help. And like I said, you're the only one that can make it stop. Anyway, I just figured I'd talk about that. It's something that I never talked about throughout my life because it was kind of hard to deal with. Anyway, I just thought that was something that people should know. If I can help somebody else get through what I got through, it would make me feel a whole lot fucking better. But anyway, if you have questions or you want to reach out through YouTube or through my email, do it. I'm always there to help people, especially with something as far as or as sensitive as bullying goes. Until the next video, You have a great Wednesday.